Well, good day, folks. Once again, I have CEO Jeff Parker with me here now, and we have this special announcement, some things you want to go through, and you wanted to come on and give us an update.
Appreciate it, Ken.
Yeah, thank you. Now, of course, yesterday, many people probably saw, as I did, there was an announcement by the Orange County government, by the health department there. They later sort of rescinded that in a sense, but a lot of people were very nervous about that.
Yeah, let me talk about that
Sure.
a little bit. Yesterday, the Orange County Health Department put together an order, and that order said that all public and private gatherings of individuals, any number of people, including places of work, concerning outdoor activities outside a single household living unit, are prohibited. However, noting that it order prohibits the gathering of members in the household would be okay. What happened after that, and what the Orange County had a press conference just a few minutes ago, they wanted to clarify that this wasn't a shelter-in-place order, that this wasn't saying businesses are going to shut down. What they basically were saying, we're going to follow the state guidelines, and those state guidelines have become restrictive enough that they're saying, hey, social distancing is the key here. Stay away from any other individual in that social distancing, like you and I are doing right now, and that will help facilitate the slowing down of this virus. Didn't mean that they're closing down all businesses, but it has created an environment where we have taken the next step to look at specific areas in the village here where we think there are essential or non-essential activities, and we're going to curtail some of those.
Okay, very good, and that's what we're going to go through right now. So. Why don't you tell us everything that is currently closed here to residents in the village?
As I mentioned before, what we had done is close all our community centers and all our rec activities, and all the indoor facilities had been closed. What we were keeping open was our recreation activities such as our tennis court, golf course, pickleball, and our garden centers. What we're now moving towards based on this new directive from the county, we're going to close our outdoor activities as well. So the golf course, pickleball, tennis, those activities will cancel or go dark at this point in time. What we will be doing though is we're going to keep our garden center open, informing all the people that work out there in their gardens to keep that 6-foot social distancing as a key criteria for that.
Okay, very good. I know yesterday you also talked, or the other day you talked about that if people want to get out about and walk their dogs or something like that, at the time you're going, that's fine, just keep your distance. Is that still pretty much the case?
And that's still the status quo.
Okay.
The county recommends that. People are recommending that throughout the state. Get exercise, get out there, just be careful and be cognizant of that social distancing.
All right, very good. Let's talk about the gates. Which ones are open and which ones are closed? And starting Friday, they're going to be, as I see here, 4 that are closed.
Right. We've decided that for addressing our essential services and to provide, again, additional security and to discourage people coming to the village, we're going to close gates 3, 6, 8, and 9 on Friday. We'll start doing that, implementing that on Friday morning, and by the end of the day, those gates will be closed. So gates that are going to stay open are 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, 11, and 14, and gate 4. And the reason I want to mention gate 4 is gate 4 is an exit-only gate.
Yes.
But we have a lot of pedestrian traffic there. So we'll keep that open, and that'll be manned from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay, so once again, the ones start beginning Friday morning that will be closed will be gate 3, gate 6, gate 8, and gate 9. And may I ask what time Friday morning?
We're going to start activating that right off the bat at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
The sequence of getting them all closed, we're hoping to have it done by noon, but it may take into the afternoon.
All right, very good. Now, bus transportation for the folks here.
The 2 changes that we've activated going forward is that we are going to limit our Monday through Friday with regards to our fixed routes. So that's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we're not going to operate our Saturday fixed route at this point in time.
Okay.
We've seen a great reduction in that activity anyhow due to our village residents adhering to previous requests. And so with that reduction and trying to appropriately operate our system, we're going to close down the Saturday operations for now.
Okay.
Now, this is, again, for 2 weeks. We're looking at the 30-day period, but in
Okay.
2 weeks, we'll reevaluate that
Okay.
and see where we're at. We're also in contact with Lyft, who, as you know, is doing our program that we just instituted
Right.
from 5 to 10 in the evening. So we have requested to communication to Lyft that we can discontinue that program for 2 weeks, reevaluate it at this point in time. We have been in communication with Lyft. That hasn't been finalized, but we encourage our residents not to be out there, not to be engaging in this public contact. So we'll look forward to closing that operation as well. But we will continue to operate with Lyft that 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock time slot, because that was being used by individuals wanting to get up in the morning, get to the shopping center early, get to the market early before they run out of things.
Okay, and of course, that is Monday through Friday.
That is.
And as you just said, that could change. It could change according to Lyft.
Absolutely.
Their own rules as well, let alone ours. Okay, let's talk about the community center and the village facilities. We already talked about, obviously, all the clubs are closed, clubhouses are closed, and those other facilities.
Right, and as we had indicated previously, the resident services is closed to walk-in traffic. We want residents to know that, to be assured that they can call, though, regular hours. Again, what we want you to do is call the number, the 949-597-4600, or email resident services.
Okay.
So we'll take your questions and your comments, and if you need assistance with regards to your manors or your houses, please contact resident services by email or that telephone number. And if we are in-person assessment payments at resident services are being suspended.
Okay.
So we are not going to take any payments at the door.
Okay, all right, so somebody can either mail it in, or I would assume if it takes a couple more weeks for that to come in, that's going to be
And we have
adjusted.
an online system that's Easy Pay.
Yes, it is, yes.
And that Easy Pay system is great, so you can go get yourself set up for that if you're not. But we will take checks, process it, but you need to mail those in.
Okay, very good, mail those in. So security, tell us about our security department.
Well, I mentioned this yesterday.
Yeah.
In looking at evaluating our operations, we wanted to kind of expand our hours for our social services to address some of the concerns that they may be hearing from our residents. So we took those hours that used to be 8 to 5. We've expanded it to 8 to 8 now. And again, that's they can contact us through the village and through our community center and social services. The number there is 949-597-4267.
All right, very good. Now, landscape maintenance and construction. Let's talk about that, because will landscaping maintenance be ongoing, and what about any construction work that could be happening?
So we went through the order that the Orange County delivered to us yesterday with regards that a lot of people saw, and we went back and evaluated what we considered essential services and non-essential services, and went back and met with the board presidents to confirm that they were in agreement where we were headed as VMS management. So landscaping of our manors and landscaping of the golf course will continue. That includes tree trimming. And the reason for the landscaping, certainly it's a health and safety issue with regards to maintaining the welfare of the whole community. That's important. We also know that if we let landscaping go too far and just stopped it, coming back and starting all over would be very expensive.
Yes, it
so
would.
we thought that was an important part. With regards to tree trimming and our slope maintenance, we're actually in concert working with the Orange County Fire Authority to make sure that we don't have a fire risk. And so that clearly comes into essential elements of public safety. And so that's why we're keeping those operations going.
Okay, now when it comes to contractors for people who are having personal work done on their manors, what is being looked at there?
We're asking that our residents call off all outside contracting work unless it's an essential life, health, safety issue. And then in those cases, we certainly would allow a contractor in. But if you're just putting new blinds up, then we're going to restrict that access with regards to contractors coming in. And as well as we will restrict our operations down in the area. We contract out for certain activities, and we're going to take that off they're not essential. We're not going to be doing them for at least the next 30 days.
Okay, very good. Now, Social Services Department, They are expanding their hours. You told us about this the other day, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for calls. Am I right? Just phone calls, right?
Right, just phone calls. Again, that number is 949-597-4267. And we expanded that to 8, I mentioned just a minute ago, to 8 p.m. so that we can get more activity. And I think we can handle some additional calls and working with our residents who have mic concerns about this whole coronavirus.
Okay, now you're going to be doing some internet equipment upgrade here, and that is going to be taking place March 20th from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. So if there's a temporary outage, you want to let people to know that it's not a concern. It's
we're
just
trying to
something
get as much knowledge and advanced knowledge as we can to our residents. This is a big piece of equipment that we have known for quite a while. Is kind of in need of repair, need of replacement in all reality. And so timing, it's all timing. You know the village here, people that live here rely on the internet a great deal for information. And so we're trying to make this connection happen, all hands on, and we're going to do it from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's we believe the least restrictive and disruptive to our residents.
Okay, very good. Now, meetings, as we've already talked about, there are no open meetings, and I've been announcing that at least the schedule I've been getting until Friday, March 27th, and then we'll look beyond that.
Correct. So everything on our list right now is basically off target until after the 31st.
Okay, 31st.
Our first board meeting that occurs in April is the VMS has a closed session board meeting. We're going virtual at that point in time, telecommuting virtual. We'll have that all set up for the various board meetings going into April, all the board meetings and the separate meetings that are not just board meetings, but the activities like MNC or architecture, those type of meetings will also be done virtually. Okay,
very good. And that is going in, I want to emphasize, that's for April right now. You're already planning those virtual meetings.
We're making our plans, and they'll go into place for the April meetings.
Okay, very good. Now, real estate. I want to let the folks know that if they're having an open house and to limit that, of course.
We're actually have notified all the real estate individuals. We had a meeting last week that we are not going to allow the continuation of open houses. They certainly can go online and do open houses online, but we're asking that the discontinuation of open houses, again, this is about trying to reduce the amount of traffic that's coming into our community, the distancing issue, the compliance with the county's regulations with regards to limiting access and individuals into the community.
Okay. A question just in the operations of staff in general, where all the facilities are used to have some people at the clubhouses just to take care of a normal business. Obviously in this building, we have folks who have resident services, we have us, the second floor, the first floor.
Right. One of the things that we have been evaluating the last 2 weeks is, and watching this steadily grow from a small issue to a bigger issue and bigger issue. And with this new directive from the county, we went into a mode of evaluating what is an essential service for us, what is a non-essential service for us, and then also looking at what are the capabilities that we have as an organization to allow our employees to go home and telecommute.
Okay.
So we are going to be rolling that out tomorrow. So we are going to identify our key essential employees that we're going to need here on a regular basis, and those that can be here and some of the time and telecommute sometime, those that can telecommute all of their work. We'll have a work plan for them to make sure that they're getting activities done that we need as the village moves forward. So basically we're trying to be business as usual, but implementation differently. And then we'll be evaluating what to do with the employees that we would consider non-essential and at this point in time don't have the ability to telecommunicate. Once we identify those in the next couple of days, we'll be implementing that and contacting all our employees and making sure they understand where the organization's going for at least the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
This one's a little bit. We've been talking about 30 days on all of our activity. This one's going to be reevaluated definitely in 2 weeks.
Okay, and obviously due to any circumstance, that could change as well.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about, people are asking, do you know of any confirmed cases in the village?
Well, two things. Number one, the answer is no, I don't. And that's because the Orange County Health Department, which we have been in contact, is being very, very cautious about any information about a particular individual or a particular residential address. And the reason for that is under state law, known as HIPAA, there are requirements to not divulge information about somebody's health condition. And so OC's following that to the letter of the law. So the information that's coming out as to do you have a case or do you not have a case is very limited. We do know, based on the press conference that just occurred, that Orange County has 42 confirmed cases.
Okay.
That's up from 29. So you can see that there is a jump up there a little bit. One of the reasons for that, Ken, and you know this, is that they're getting more test kits out there. And inevitably, the more they test, the probability is there will be more confirmed cases.
Very true. Now, we want to tell folks again, point them to the village website, which is, of course, lagunawoodsvillage.com. Then right on the very front there's a red box. It says coronavirus updates. You just click on that, you'll get information. Now, we also want to tell you here at Village Television with This Day, beginning on Friday, that would be March 20th, we're going to have a shortened show from that point forward for whatever length of time that may be. So beginning Friday, our program This Day will air from 9 o'clock to 9:30. Of course, that means that the replays will be a half hour as well. And at 8:30, we're going to just be slotting something, and we don't know exactly what yet. But we want to let people know that, again, from 9 a.m. to 9:30 will be This Day. And so a half-hour program, and then the replays will be the same time, 12:30 and at 5, but they'll only be a half-hour show. Okay.
Look forward to being able to provide more and more information to the village. I know in our email status that we have, there's a lot of emails that we've been receiving. What's new, what's going on, the individuals want to know, and we want to provide that. So certainly going to our website's the best place to go. Go to that website, look for that information, watch the TV show, which is great. It's a good way to communicate to everybody. But one of the things I wanted to express too is if you're a neighbor and you know a neighbor doesn't have the internet or doesn't watch TV, go let that neighbor know of the information that's going out there. Watch your social distancing, but at least if you can communicate how they can go about finding information, it will just help and get everybody can informed. All
right, Jeff, thank you again for coming up here and giving us an update. I know we'll be doing this as regularly. And again, the village website, lagunawoodsvillage.com. Find out information there. Right up front there, you'll see coronavirus update, the button, and you just click on that and you'll get the updates there. All right. Oh, one more thing. May I say this before I forget? If you have not signed up, sign up for Code Red. Again, if you go on the village website, I think it's up in the left corner, you click on there and you can fill that. That's just in general. That's a good way for the village to communicate with you. It's always a good idea to get your information on the Code Red system, no matter what is going on.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be back.